What if emotional intelligence isn't about controlling your emotions, but unlocking the power hidden inside of you?
Message.
Today, my bro God and I, Brother Yosef, Dream Wise, we're going to talk about advanced gnosis on the Jajed pillar for men, beta men versus spiritual men, and drama corn. What's up, family? What's the deal? What's the deal, man? Dream Wise here for another one. Yeah, I got my bro God with me, Brother Yosef. And
Gratitude.
yeah, always a pleasure building with my brother because when we build, we go in.
Mm-hmm.
I can't
That's
make
a
it up.
fact.
We go in and we go ham.
That's
And
a
you know,
fact.
it's a beautiful thing because essentially it's touching the people in a way that gives them some light, some information, some encouragement, and some deeper advanced gnosis on what spirituality is. So I'm excited about this topic, understanding emotional intelligence, understanding emotional intelligence. First off, the first thing I gotta ask my bro guy, Yosef, and this been on my mind since yesterday, heavy. And I've been seeing stuff in the spiritual streets, and I've been looking and I've been like, what is going on? I was just like, wait, what is this? What is going on with the world? Yosef, can you please explain to me what Bitcoin and XRP is doing? God damn. I mean, what? Hey,
Well, you know,
my XRP, and I was like, all right, what? What?
well, yeah, you know, I talked about this in my Patreon a lot, but you know, and y'all stay tuned tonight. I'm gonna come back on live stream, but you know, right now, y'all, we going through something called the Great Wealth Transfer.
Okay.
The Great Wealth Transfer, and there's stages to the Great Wealth Transfer. And the first people right now who are holding real wealth are the people who invested in certain things, people who was able to see into the future, and they invested into certain things, and now they're holding wealth.
All right.
Bitcoin and XRP are just laying back, preparing for a great jump. Well, mostly XRP. I ain't gonna say so much Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of speculation around it. Now the Epstein files are out, and they showing that pretty much this man might be the creator of Bitcoin.
Wow.
Scary stuff. You know what I'm saying?
What?
Epstein might be the creator of Bitcoin, or at least had allegedly that had something to do with creating Bitcoin.
Mm.
And he stated in his documents that he hated XRP and Stellar Lumens. He was literally trying to stop XRP and Stellar Lumens. So what we're seeing, while the market is down, one thing I've learned in obtaining wealth and learning about money is that when there's blood in the streets, you know what I'm saying, take advantage of it.
Right.
Take advantage of the dip. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we're just seeing a great wealth transfer happen, y'all. And the first part of that is people who invested in silver, who invested in precious metals, was able to get blessed with a big jump. You know what I'm saying? And people who are holding the wealth in their hands, who hold silver, not paper money, not stocks. You know what I'm saying? Because they can just shut the internet off and all your stocks are gone.
Right.
You want to keep it real. So
Right.
it's coming, the wealth is coming out of the stock market, coming into people's hands. They're holding minerals now. Minerals gonna be the new thing, y'all. They're holding silver, gold, right? Especially silver. That's been a big talk.
Mm-hmm.
And now that's why I tell people you need to become a collector, because holding wealth in your hand is going to be the next big thing in the future.
Right.
Now that's the first part for the phase, and then eventually everything will be tokenized, and then that's when you'll see the market start to come back, when they start tokenizing things and putting things in perspective with this digital world we getting ready to go into.
Right.
So don't fret, y'all. Don't be afraid. Buy when it's low, because we're just preparing for the digital world that's getting ready to happen. To make it simple.
That's good, Yosef. That's good, and it ties into what we're talking about today, because you know a lot of times, especially like investors like us dealing with Bitcoin, XRP, Stellar Lumens, all these different cryptos for so long, that even that Fed coin, you seen that Fed coin going down too. It's like, okay, where is your emotions at, right? If you believe in the idea, you get what I'm
That's a
saying?
good point, brother.
So
That's a good
emotions is
point.
playing a big part in a lot of people's, how would you say, energy right now, based off of, you know what I mean, they're in a pet. Like if you're an investor like us, you know, it could feel um intimidating, or it feel discouraging, right? And
Right.
then if you keep on hearing the noise, the distraction, it could be like, oh, Bitcoin's going to zero, whatever that feeling is at, right? Or just never is real, like you were saying, Epstein. So I think it's about you having the spine, the backbone, especially as men, to stand on what you believe on. Do your research, of course. Obviously, do your research. Stand on what you believe on, and understand the game. Understand how this thing has ebbs and flows, right? So yeah,
Fair.
go ahead, yo. So what you about to say?
Um, and you know, you said something about emotional intelligence with this. Excuse me, with this money market, and that's why it's important to study the principles of money. You know what I mean? If you understand the principles of money, you won't panic during this market. You know what I'm saying? You understand what's happening. You know, there's principles behind everything. When you understand the principles, you know, even in magic, we're taught to learn the basic principles first. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And this is why some people panic in magic. You know, they gotta hex everybody, or they gotta do a money spell every 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't understand the principles of energy and how magic works on a certain level. You know what I'm saying?
No,
And
that's
it's
good.
really all up here. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. That's good, Yosa, because a lot of times people will mess up their own ritual based off of overthinking. So
Facts.
now, because you wasn't able to let it go, essentially you done ruined it because you're keeping it in the wave form, and you're never bringing it down to this particle form, and
That's a
you're not,
fact.
and you don't have the gumption to stand on what manifestation that you're claiming. Because a
That's a
lot of
fact.
it is just about being confident and knowing that it's going to happen.
That's
You
right.
know what I'm saying? And the two eyes can be a tricky thing for people that don't know, or that don't have that first eye open. So it's important to
Facts.
be hey, rude, courageous, and be in the space of understanding that you are the winner, right? There's nothing you're gonna lose in this thing, and if you know that, then essentially you're gonna win. If you don't know that, and if you're standing in the aspect of fear and worry and fret, essentially what happens is that's when the mind takes over, and essentially you are what you think.
That's a fact. I agree, brother.
Um, I wanted to show the family this video because I seen this video with this goddess, and she was dropping, or she was talking about men today, or men today in the dating pool. And what we're
Mm.
talking about today is emotional intelligence and the understanding of uh, how to carry yourself, especially you dealing with the opposite pole, which is the feminine principle. So as masculine men, you know what I'm saying, I think this is going to be a powerful conversation, and y'all leave y'all questions in the comments for us also if y'all got any questions. As masculine men, I think this would be a powerful conversation for us. So check this out, Yosef. Watch this. Okay. Oh, let's see. Try it again. Check out the goddess, y'all.
I wanted to share with you guys what it's like dating at 49. I took a long hiatus because the past couple of years I went through a lot. Both my parents passed away, and I wanted to take time to recover from life. And so I feel like I'm in a great place emotionally, the best place probably ever, and I'm ready for it. And I understand that when it comes to dating and finding partnership, it's something that takes a long time. So I'm not in a rush. But what I've encountered since I've been back on the scene is a couple of things. I date from the age range of 47 to 57. I am heterosexual, so I'm referring to men. And I find that men within that age range don't look as good and struggle with a lot of health issues, which it's the reality of things. I think that I could bypass that, knowing that I'm getting older as well, if they were to translate as wanting to get to know me on a deeper level. That I feel like lacks a lot. I don't know if it's just that age group, but they don't ask questions. They don't ask simple shit like, what do you do for a living? What do you like? Do you have any children? You know, where were you raised at? What's your favorite color? Nothing. But they complain a lot. They complain a lot. They complain a lot. They complain a lot. A lot of things they complain about is, oh, women these days, you know, they just want to chat up, but they don't want to go on dates. Oh, they want to FaceTime before meeting me. Oh, you know, still hung up on the ex-wife, and the ex-wife that they had a child with is off to college. You're still concerned about that. I get a lot of that. Just bitter, you know, like very bitter about past relationships, you know, and I've been getting a lot of that. The issue with men, I want to say that I've been experiencing, I'm not saying all men are like this, is that, you know, it's one thing you don't take care of yourself and you don't look great. It's another thing that you don't know how to genuinely connect with a woman. And connecting with the woman means showing interest, asking questions, you know, being invested in who they are as a human being, rather than talk this chemistry. When they say chemistry, I'm assuming they're referring to physical chemistry. They're so hung up on physical chemistry. And the standard that they place on women and that they don't place on themselves is astonishing.
So, you know, I wanted to share that with the family to, you know, kind of jump this thing off and give us a sort of a landing ground to understand what a lot of men, especially what I see, especially in my consultations and things of that nature, spiritual men or quote unquote spiritual men go through in the aspect of their emotions. You see, a lot of times what happens is there's two sides to us, right? There's a masculine side and a feminine side. And understanding both polarities is a big thing for spiritual beings, right? Because again, like we have a masculine and feminine side, but we came down here to basically rule in one frequency, one energy. In the 50s and 60s, men were more masculine. You know what I'm saying? They were more strong. They worked. They got things done. And they brought home the bacon for their wives to cook it up. You feel me? Knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Somewhere in between the 70s and 80s, that hippie movement started coming along. And you started seeing men with long hair. You see me seeing men, you know what I'm saying, be more feminine in nature, not trying to work, not trying to move into the space of, you know what I'm saying, handling their responsibilities. What's that thing called? Squatting and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Running away from their responsibilities and stuff of that nature. And then you also seen the reverse of that, females becoming more masculine in their approach to the world, going out to get a job, becoming leaders, so on and so forth. Fast forward to today, you see men painting their nails. You know what I'm saying? And females going through particular health ailments based off of they're not living in their divine feminine because they got to go to work.
Message.
So, you know, as we go through this particular time that we're in, especially in this Aquarius age, this information age, we got to step back and understand what Yosef like to call principles and values, and really put that in the driver's seat of this thing. Because at the same time, at the end of the day, if you don't have nothing you're standing on, if you don't have nothing you're working towards, then who are you?
I agree, my brother.
I think one of the aspects that I see Yosef in today is a lot of what do you call it, like beta men. You feel me? So my question to you is, what would be the difference between emotional intelligence versus emotional passivity?
That's a great question, brother. And it's really not knowing who you are as a man. You know what I'm saying? My wife complained to me all the time that I'm too aggressive when it comes to my daughter. But a lot of time, but you know, God put men and women on this planet. We just say God for the sake of, you know, talking. God put men and women on this planet. A woman, a young girl, female woman, a young girl, she needs her father.
Right.
And the father is there to show authority. You know what I'm saying? To show authority. So a young girl learns what it means to be under authority at a young age when she's with her father. So I had to tell my wife back in the day a few times, like, don't correct me when I'm trying to discipline my daughter. I love this girl to death, but if I'm talking too harsh, too bad. You know what I'm saying? I know who I am. That's why I'm not apologizing. You know what I'm saying? I know who I am. You know what I'm saying? Now, in certain instances, my daughter, she got her period now. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand that. So I get out the way. I'm smart enough. I have enough emotional intelligence that if my daughter rolling her eyes at me, my wife says she's on her time in the month. You know what I'm saying? I can have enough emotional intelligence to say, put your anger to the side, Yosef. You ain't got to check her on that right now. She may be going through some emotional, you know what I'm saying? I'll get out the way. And that's what it is. I know when to fold, I know when to hold. You know what I'm saying? I know when to assert my authority, and I know when to back off and let my wife be right.
Right.
Let the divine feminine energy take in. I understand those principles, you know what I'm saying? And that's where it comes in from understanding that. Now I want to go back to as well and say something what the young lady said on the video. You know, one thing sisters have to understand that a lot of the men who, you know, first of all, men control marriage, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you know, we have to look at this thing from the root of it. It's like gangster rap. Everybody want to talk about how hip hop is just so ghetto and it's all demon time, and you know, all they rap about is pills and drugs. But we gotta understand the truth is that without having a victim mentality, we gotta understand the truth is that they have meetings on this stuff on how they can destroy hip hop, how they can put the street element into hip hop. They did it in the late 80s. And then next thing you know, here comes the NWA.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, whoever was around before that know what hip hop was about. Remember here how innocent hip hop was, and talked about the street struggles and basic stuff. You would learn stuff from listening to hip hop, and then the street element came, and it made it cool, right? Well, you gotta understand that same play was put out with families. There is a design to destroy the family structure, but why? Because a family is a unit. And if you get a bunch of families together, they can work against the government.
Facts.
So they rather make the women believe that they don't need a man. Not in all cases. We'll say some women. They make some women believe they don't need a man. You could depend on the government. We'll pay all your bills, and you don't need a family. You see what I'm saying? I could be your man. That's what the government's saying. I'll be your man. You know, when you got to understand, sister, that's all plot to destroy the family structure. Now, with that being said, someone would say, well, these Negroes out here ain't no good. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no good. But at the same time, sister, you got to understand, every person that you attracted is what you wanted. And that was your vibration at the time. That's not going to be your vibration for life. You can become better. You can think better. You can be better. And you can change the vibration of who you pick and who you want to be with. But you got to really change on the inside, or you're just going to attract the same thing over and over. It's not about changing your outward appearance. It's about doing shadow work and admitting to being okay, I got an issue, and let me fix this issue before I go marry somebody who's good, or be in a relationship with somebody who's good, and I don't want to mess them up. Or I don't want them to end it on me abruptly because they see what I am. You see what I'm saying? You have to really change. And that's what it comes down to. So that sister who's talking, it ain't that so much that the man is not trying to commit to her. She's attracting, it's the vibration of men that she's on. There's men out there who in their 40s and 50s.
Yeah, that's thorough.
Are looking at a woman like, you know what? I want to get to know her.
Right.
You're just looking at the wrong type of men, sis. They're very rare. Just like the Bible said, there's a virtuous woman, and she's rare, and her price is above ruby. That's a rare woman. That ain't every woman. You know what I'm saying? Of course, growing up, we was taught all women are virtuous women. Absolutely not. Just like all men are not good men. Some men are not good, sis. So I want y'all to understand that whole dynamic and how, without being a victim, there are plays going around in the world that are pushing the separation of family. And if they do have a family, it's okay to have a certain type of family, 2 men.
Yeah.
And 2 women.
Yeah.
And you know what? Brother Yosef don't care. If that's what you want, have it. But I'm talking about the basic traditional family. And I'll say this last thing and let you go, brother. That's another issue we got. There's no tradition. There was tradition back in the motherland, back in wherever country you're from, there's a tradition in your country of how marriage goes. There's no tradition in America. You got people who are not even Christians getting married in a Christian way. They go to a Christian church, they get married because they think the states, grown people think like this, the state makes them get married.
Mm-hmm.
They really believe that. And the state is nothing but a piece of paper.
Facts.
You know, and that's why it's easy to get in and hard to get out. You put yourself in a contract.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You don't need to go to the state to be married. This is a fact. So I just want to say that, brother.
No, that's good, Yosef. And you know what I'm hearing from you is basically like with the goddess and her attracting these particular men is essentially her own inner work or her own inner self saying, hey, this is what you find attractive, because they keep on showing up, they keep on popping up in your proximity. So your spirit is just giving you what you're asking for. No, that's good, Yosef. The aspect of divide, I just seen a Facebook post on this. Let me share this with y'all real quick. It says something. Let's see. It said, I asked ChatGPT, why does the world try to keep Black people divided? And that's good. And it came down with a whole plethora of stuff. Black history didn't start with slavery. Black people shaped the modern world more than credited. Black resilience is historically unmatched. Trauma wasn't accidental, it was engineered. So yeah, you right on point, Yosef, with that. And essentially, you know, we are in a space of being manipulated because of how precious our energy is, and how powerful we are as spiritual beings first. When you don't know yourself, essentially what happens is you let anybody mess with you and deal with you in the particular way that you're going to get dealt with. So I think it is a big understanding to know thyself, right? And in knowing thyself, essentially, you'll start to resonate and vibrate from a different frequency of love. Because ultimately, that's what this is all about, is about love. And I think as men, we are supposed to be able to give out love, no matter how that may look. It might look like Yosef is saying aggressive at times, right? But that's still love. You feel me? Or it might look like, okay, I see what my goddess needs. Let me console her, right, as a man, and not let my emotions get in the way, based off of me being thorough and knowing who I am, and knowing that she has her chaos that sparks up inside of her.
I want to say this real quick too. You know, speaking of emotional intelligence, it goes so deep as a man, especially a married man. You know, for Christmas, right? My wife wanted a specific thing. You know, women like nice things. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna get her something else, but I'm not gonna buy her that. I'm gonna buy her something else. I bought her a couple gifts, but one of the gifts I bought her, I replaced it with something else that was cheaper. And the thing I bought her was an ebook reader. It was a specific type of ebook reader, right? And at first she was like, okay, thank you. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate this, but this ain't what I asked for. I said, I know. I said, but this is what you need. You know what I'm saying? And why do I say that? Because I sit up at night and I see how relaxed she is when she's reading. You know what I'm saying? And I see the ebook reader she had wasn't working as good. She always talked about getting on. So I emotional intelligence, happy wife, happy life. You know what I'm saying? I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and get her an ebook. And I'm telling you, today she won't put it down. She loved this ebook reader. She done decorated the thing and everything.
Wow.
It was small things like that as a husband where we can get blamed for being aggressive, but we're smart enough to see this is what my wife needs before she even understands she needs it.
Right. Paying attention to the details, attention to
details. You got to pay attention. That's your duty as a husband. Pay attention to it's the small things that you got to pay attention to, not the big things.
Exactly.
Small things.
Yeah, because one year I was like, you know what? DeRay, she really wants this vacuum and these pots and pans. So we don't
care about none of that. We like,
said, okay. I noticed she cooks a lot, you know, she vacuums. I said, okay, you know what? Instead of that diamond necklace that you wanted so bad, let me get you this vacuum and these pots and pans. Let me stop playing with y'all. No, I got her to make this. But I hear what you're saying, Yosef, because essentially,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? That's being able to be aware and having a sense of consciousness for your home and for your goddess as well. Like D Ray was feeling some type of way the other day, just 2 days ago. And I had went to the store, you know what I'm saying, and I had got her favorite chocolates out of nowhere. Just said, hey, babe, look, I just want you to feel good. My chocolate for my chocolate. You feel me? And essentially, you know what I'm saying, that put a smile on her face. And, you know, it's those little things, it's those minute things that do stimulate intimacy. Because to me, see is essentially you being into me. So you got to have the gumption, the courage to, fellas, to say, I'm into you.
Right.
You got to have the ability to pay attention and then also have the love to put her in her place when she needs to be put in her place.
That's a fact.
Because a lot of times beta men, they will just falter into the space of saying, okay, whatever you want, you know, whatever you want, huh? Let me give you some money, right? But the goddesses don't want that. They really want a leader.
That's right.
And your approach to the world shows a lot about you based off of your leadership. She's testing you to see if you're going to lead her to the glory land. But beta men, they're in their emotions and they're thinking, oh shoot, what did I do now? She's just saying if you're gonna G-check her real quick.
Right.
Or absolutely. Even just embrace her to show her some love so she can break free of whatever emotional feelings that she's feeling, because you know the divine feminine is chaos.
Right, absolutely. And you know, sometimes your wife or your lady will feel a certain way. It's not how she's thinking though.
Right, exactly.
You think a certain way, she feels a certain way. So this is why you can say, no, we're not doing that. And I don't really care how you feel about it. You know what I'm saying? We're not doing that. And she'll be mad at you. She'll get over it because she'll think about it later. Like, as much as I hate to admit it, this joker is right. You know what I'm saying? You might not hear you right about it, but you'll know you was right about it. She let it go. You know what I'm saying? And then she's gonna respect you for standing up to her.
Standing on business,
You know what I'm saying? Standing on business, you know? And that don't gotta be an everyday thing, because if you got a good woman, she's gonna bring you peace anyway.
Right.
But sometimes as a man, you gotta be the bad guy. You gotta be the one that everybody don't like in the house because you made a decision. And you gotta learn how to be okay with that.
Yeah, you definitely gotta stand on your decisions, because your decisions is your driving point in this world. Like, you came down here to be a leader. You came down here to lead and to lead a family into, you know, into understanding and into growth. So essentially, one big thing that I see with men is there's no direction, there's no purpose. And if you don't have no direction, you don't have no purpose, and you're just, you know, wandering around the world, essentially what's happening is you're falling into this beta man syndrome.
Right.
Because
absolutely.
You know, our main thing as masculine beings is to fulfill a purpose down here, whatever that might look like. And it's up to you to tap into your inner guide to find that purpose for you, so you can start doing the mental, spiritual, and physical work so you can carry out that mission.
Absolutely.
But nothing comes before your purpose. Like, you have to be able to put your purpose in front of everything, because essentially the purpose is you being love, right? You doing your creative mission work, because you basically, what I'm saying is, you're in love with your divine feminine. So you have a divine feminine energy inside of you. So your divine feminine inside of you is your creativity, your passion, your adventure, and your spiritual matters. Cool.
Right.
So now when you're in love with that aspect of you that is hitting targets or making a mission happen, essentially what's going to happen is you're going to give love back to your goddess.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And speaking of that, I want to answer this question real quick. Somebody got here. They said, can y'all explain the difference between wanting to be married versus needing to be married? And I will tell a person, if you just want to be married, that's kind of selfish, because people want to be married for a lot of selfish reasons. Some people just don't want to be alone. So they say, I want to be married because I want to be alone. Well, that's a very selfish way to think about it, because you may not be ready to be married at all, but because you want it, you'll put yourself in a position to be married, knowing good and well the inside of you ain't right. You still need to do some healing. Saying that go for the men and the women. You know what I'm saying? But if you, and this is a vibration, you can put your mind state in the state of need. Your subconscious mind works differently.
Right.
When you want something, the subconscious mind is not so fast to move, but it works faster on need, because that's the way it's designed. When you need, Buddha said, wants are the cause of all suffering. The more you want it, the more you're going to suffer. Why? Because you'll do anything to get it. Right. Even if it brings you pain. You know what I'm saying? I still want it. You know, okay, cool. And that's where you get a lot of people that don't listen. They'll do stuff just for the moment. They live in the moment and they just do it, and then they get hurt. Put yourself in a state of need. And if you need to be married, then that means you're preparing yourself. Okay, I have a lot of love. You might be a woman and say, I have a lot of love to give, a lot of nurturing energy to give to a good man. Not just a man. You got to be specific with your words. I need a good man because I'm a good woman. You know what I'm saying? Don't just desire a man, desire a good man. And the same thing with the brothers. Don't desire a woman, desire a good woman, desire a virtuous woman. You know what I'm saying? And that you changing the whole dynamic, instead of just saying, I need a wife. No, you need a good wife. You know, so I just want to say that real quick.
No, that's good. That's good. You know, when we look at this thing in a vacuum, right, the nurturing does come in the aspect of you as men fulfilling your purpose. And then God or spirit, your higher self, will grant you a particular goddess that can help move along your journey and your legacy. Like D-Ray, she helps me with my business adventures and art, you know what I'm saying, and all of that, right? So now we bring in more and more wealth because she's nurturing my ideas and creating it for the better. You feel me? So I think that's a big part of this. Like you said, Yosef, marriages are businesses.
Yes, they are. Yes,
so that particular person is going to come into your life when you need it. But as men, you have to have that particular energy and drive to put something down and leave something on this earth. Go ahead, Yosef.
Absolutely. And speaking of emotional intelligence, as a married man, we have to be smart and not be in our feelings all the time, or we're not going to be able to stay married, because a woman going to get in her feelings sometimes. She's an emotional creature.
Right.
As a man, you can't be getting your feelings too. Sometimes you got to be the one that's the thinker. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I'm not saying, sister, that y'all don't think. Of course y'all think. I'm just saying that y'all are wired to be emotional and nurturing. Right. We're not. We can be.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we're not. Our first desire is to protect, provide, and secure what we got. You know what I'm saying? And then if we go hunting, we don't cook. We come home and we give it to our wives, and they prepare the meal. It don't mean that we can't cook. Right. You see what I'm saying? So we're talking about roles that was hardwired into your biology.
Yes.
If we understand that simple thing, then you understand how to talk to a man. Mm-hmm. And brothers, you'll understand how to talk to your lady. If you understand that she's talking from a feeling perspective, instead of she's talking from a thing, you're thinking, she's feeling.
Right.
And if she's upset about something, she's feeling a certain way. You might just be thinking about it. But if you fall into your feelings with her, then y'all just gonna be fussing and arguing. Sometimes you gotta let her get it out. She don't need you to fix it. That's something I had to learn as a man, as a husband. One day my wife told me, I don't need you to fix it, just listen. Right. I didn't understand. So I had to learn how to listen, you know what I'm saying? Because as a man, what's wrong? What's happening? Okay, this is what you need to do. Mm-hmm. And if you ain't do it, don't ask me no more. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And what she's really saying is like, I just feel this way and I want you to listen to how I feel. And sometimes that's all you gotta do, brother. Just listen to how she feels. Game over.
Facts.
You ain't gotta try to fix it. You try to fix it later. You know what I mean? So yeah.
No, that's powerful, Yosef. Hey, I couldn't have said it any better.
Sorry about you.
Hey, if you fussing, if you fighting with your female, then, and there's times when things happen and you get into your feelings or whatever, and it's
Fair.
just part of the human experience. But what I've been seeing lately, especially in these spiritual streets, dealing with a lot of people are angry, people are mad, people are pissed off. Shake them haters off. Shake them haters off. No. Shake them haters off. Shake them haters off. I'm seeing boys out here mad for whatever reason. Is just a sign of people just constantly, repetitiously giving people attention and spewing it out. I just seen Tariq Nasheed and Deontay Kyle going at it with each other on some difference of opinions. And to me, that's not masculine energy, because what I'm saying, hey, men don't talk about other men, right?
That's right.
Don't talk about other men, and we got to understand that to the core. So one question I got for you, Yosef, is how can men transmute their anger into clarity? Because some of these men, they need some work. They need that particular gnosis to transform and understand that, hey, stuff is going to happen. People are going to say whatever they're going to say, but we don't got to move to violence. How do we move to power?
Yeah, first of all, by understanding the situation. You got to understand whatever the situation is, you got to understand what situation it is. Mm-hmm. The first thing we shouldn't do is revert to being emotional as men. We got to talk it out. If we can't talk it out, then we can fight. You know what I'm saying? Right. But the men today, they would, a lot of men, they may want to fight. They got this thing on Instagram called Crash Out. It's a crash out page, and just grown men fighting over the dumbest stuff. You know what I'm saying? Mm. And sometimes that's just that's something that we have to look at. So the first thing that's going to ground you is principles. You're going to start thinking about, well, is this something I should be mad about? And when it comes to emotional intelligence, it's going to be, you have to practice that. That's not something that you can just do right away. You have to practice learning how to not care about certain things. And how do you do that? So one of the first ways to do it is put yourself in that person's shoes, right? If that person's mad at you, don't just assume that I got to be mad back. An intelligent man or woman will put themselves in that person's shoes and see if are you really wrong? If somebody did that to me, how would I feel about it? Mm-hmm. And you got to be honest with that, right? You got to be honest with that, and then you deal with the situation from there. Yeah. So if I have to say something to somebody that I don't want to say, or take it somewhere I don't want to take it, I'm always gonna put myself in that person's shoes and say, "Yo, would I do that to?" No, and a lot of times I'm like, "No, I wouldn't do that." Now I know how to address the situation. Right. And even then, you should always come at it unless somebody's trying to harm you, your family, or disrespect you and your wife or your children. Mm-hmm. Brothers, always approach it with a sound mind. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because it shows your emotional intelligence, right? Based on how you approach the situation. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. One thing about me, if somebody talking crazy about me, I'm never going to blow up and be cursing a person out. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Who you said Tariq Nasheed was Tariq,
yeah, they were.
Yeah. So I'm not going to be out here. And we seen Tariq Nasheed, shout out to the brother. We seen how he can be sometimes, but I'm not going to be out here arguing with nobody. Because then some people get so mad they want to fight. Yeah. And it's like, bro, we thousands of miles apart. Why would I even get emotional about this? Right. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand that. So it's like, it ain't worth it half of the time. So brothers, assess the situation. Sometimes you got to think. If you a man and you always mad about something, you have no emotional intelligence. Mm. That's why you can't do good business. Some men can't do good business. I knew a guy that can't do good business because he's always emotional about something. Message. You know what I'm saying? You gotta let that go. And that's no offense towards him. It's just like he needs to understand that, like, you can't be, if it's business, there's no emotions in business. Right. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. All you can do is deal with the situation accordingly. You know what I mean? If you understand how to deal with it. You know what I mean? So assess the situation, brothers, based on your principles and your morals. Once you assess the situation, put yourself in that person's shoes. Mm-hmm. If a person offended your family, would I do that to somebody? No, not based on my principles and morals. Okay, now I know how to assess the situation. Because sometimes you look at it, you're like, okay, you got it.
Right.
One thing, sometimes, I don't get mad about somebody disagreeing with me. I can care less.
Right.
You disagree, cool. It don't stop me from living my life. Disagree. Some people will be ready to kill you because you disagree with them. You know what I'm saying? They fight and argue on a Facebook all day. People gotta let that go. You a man, you doing that? You got issues.
Facts.
What in the world? You going back and forth with people on the internet all day for typing all day? You should be getting some money.
Facts.
You starting a business or doing something else.
You giving
doing
them
what men do.
You giving them a whole bunch of energy and attention. Yeah, you're right, Yosef. That's fire. I was
let me say this last thing.
Okay,
the way you know if a man don't have a good emotional intelligence, if he always in his feelings, he keep repeating the same thing over and over. You know what I'm saying? He keep repeating the fact that, he did this to me, and I, the next day, I still can't believe he did that to me. Third day, I'm telling you what, man, next time he do that to me, let it go, bro. The dude not even here. What you so mad about? No emotional intelligence. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's what it comes down to. So I just want to say that.
No, that's good, Yosef. I was it was about 2 weeks ago, I was doom scrolling on TikTok. And essentially me doom scrolling, I ran into this group. It was like an atheist group. Crazy as shit, right? Atheists. And they had a title that said, Jesus is not real, God is not real, prove me wrong, right? So I just went in the group and said, okay, well, let me build with these people. Let me see what is going on. Because I didn't know it was an atheist group. I just said, all right, well, let me click in, see what's happening, you know what I'm saying? Chop it up and see where their mind is at, right? And essentially, they started bashing me crazy because I was giving them like spiritual notions and topics and symbols and understandings and occult and metaphysics, all of that. I'm going in crazy, right? They start back, that ain't real. No, that's not real. Allegory, what is that? Blah, 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 blah. Cool. But I didn't realize it was an atheist group. I'm sitting there thinking like, okay, cool, whatever. Anyway, I started peeping and understanding what was going on. And what I noticed was they just wanted to attack Christians. And they wanted to attack Christians the whole time. It was like, hey, man, you got to get off. We just want to come for the Christians. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I said, wait, what kind of group is this? I said, wait, what in the world? I thought we was trying to build and grow into higher gnosis and higher knowledge of self, right? That's what I'm thinking. I said, oh, I started telling them, they kicked me off right after I said this. I said, oh, y'all are actually Christians. Because like and unlike are the same. Message. I said, these are actually Christians because essentially what you don't like is what you really like.
Right.
Pay it no mind.
Right.
I don't watch hockey at all. So why am I going to get mad at Wayne Gretzky? You see what I'm saying? I agree. My energy will never bash Christianity because I'm in peace and in love with myself, and I understand that's a level where people are at, and I don't have no malice or intent from it. So the point of what I'm saying is that a lot of times what these people are spewing out in the form of saying our name, saying, our people's name, hating or whatever, is actually showing love. And that's when I look at it, I said, damn, there's a whole page about me on this thing. God damn, these boys showing me love. I was like, all right. So I look at hate as actually love.
It could be looked at as that because some like they say all what they say, how I go,
all attention is good.
All attention is good attention. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to business.
Yeah, and just being on the same pole, because if we talk about polarity, like and alike are the same, masculine and feminine energies. Remember, masculine and feminine is an attraction. The plus and the minus attract to create light. So we need each other, masculine and feminine, to be created to create light, which is could come in the form of knowledge, consciousness, or even come in the form of a child in the physical, right?
Absolutely.
So understanding that is understanding that you really have love for that opposite spectrum. See what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I want the family to understand that when you're dealing with your emotions and emotional intelligence, I want you to look at yourself deeply and really understand, why do I feel this way about this particular group or this particular person? Because one is it is envious, right? And two, you actually want to do that thing too. Straight up and down. You got to be honest with yourself, and you got to look, and you got to feel all of that energy, especially as men, because essentially, if you hating on me, if you hating on my bro God brother Yosef, then there's no way, because we don't do nothing but stay in our bubble, and we don't say no names. We ain't doing no kind of movement in that particular space. So you got to ask yourself, what is this feeling I'm feeling towards them, and transform that feeling into power for yourself to actually do, you know what I'm saying, what we're doing.
Once again, it comes down to just people who have bad emotional intelligence. They'll just disagree with you to the point where they hate you.
Right.
Yeah. If you don't like what I'm, you know what I'm saying? I know one sister got on here one time and said something about you shouldn't say the word female. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, if you don't like it, what you on here for? You know what I'm saying? But this is the foolishness people do. Oh, well, you say the word female, I don't think you should say it. How you gonna come on my platform and tell me what I should and shouldn't say? This is the ignorance of some people. And this is why they always start in arguments, and you can't go to somebody else and tell them what they should and shouldn't say. Who are you? You know what I'm saying? So I brush it off, but I let the lady know, hey, I'm always going to use the word female and woman and feminine energy. I'm going to exchange whatever, because people know what I'm talking about.
Right.
Just because you don't like it, why would I change it? And that's what I'm saying. A person will take something like that, which I didn't disrespect them. I let them know my perspective. They will hate you forever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they have no emotional intelligence.
Right.
And now you going around with hate, and I love it when people hate me because I'm an alchemist. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to take your hate and turn it into love.
Facts.
At the end of the day, hate me more. I'm just going to take it and transmute it into love.
Facts.
I'm an alchemist. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying? So it's a pointless with me.
No, that's good. That's
good.
good.
Montauk Chia. He's the first one that showed me how to transmute my energy, my emotions. You know what I'm saying? And there's other few books after that brought me into that understanding.
Man, I just read some fire stuff in the Patreon the other day, Yosef. What did I read?
If I get mad today, somebody really pushed me.
Exactly, especially me. There's no way. In this book we were reading in the Patreon, we had to write this quote down. The guy said, what did he say? Okay. He said, there must be attention without tension. There must be attention without tension. There must be feeling without emotion. Visualization without fixation. And all must be bound together by an inclusive one-pointedness of purpose, which does not include any inference of limitation. That's fire, man. We had to write that down. There must be attention without tension. So a lot of times what happens is, we're giving out our attention to things, to people, to circumstances that doesn't necessarily serve our greater good. And now all of a sudden we're caught up in a conundrum of ourselves because we can't sleep at night because we're worried about somebody that's not even thinking about us.
Absolutely. I forgot what I was about to say. Oh, and that's why one of my favorite sayings is and from the book The Power of Kabbalah by Yehuda Berg. Powerful book. Anybody who never read it should definitely read it. The Power of Kabbalah by Yehuda Berg. The book talks about principles of Kabbalah, and one of the dopest things that really helped me understand the life I'm living, it said, simple term, it said, life ain't about what's happening to you. It's about how you respond to it.
Facts. That's a bar.
You know what that means? Stuff happens in life.
Facts.
Good and bad. There's nothing you can do about it. But the universe is always testing you because it wants to see, okay, how you gonna respond? Person just cut you off in traffic and stuck their finger up at you. How you gonna respond? Person talking crazy about you, it wants to see how you gonna respond. So when you respond to life in a certain way, you don't have to worry about drama. You don't have to worry about chaos. You don't have to worry. Sometimes people just gotta be ignored. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not gonna do nothing anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's good, Yosef, because again, you know what I'm saying? You dang, what was I gonna? I forgot what I was. Damn, what you just said? Damn, I was.
The 40-40 club, brother. We hit them 40s. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you that.
That's why you gotta have a wife, man. Listen, I don't know how I will function without my wife. She remind me of everything.
God,
you know what I'm saying? I was at a doctor one day. They're like, "What's your birthday?" I was like. My wife was like, "It's 11/11/1980." I was like,
hold on,
yeah, that's right.
What you just said, dang, because I was like, dang, I got caught up in a conundrum. You right, that 40-40 club, man. I'm telling you, get down. What you just say, Yosef? You said,
I was talking about shoot. I don't remember what I was talking about. I really don't remember. Oh, I was talking about Yehuda Berg. Life ain't about what's happening; it's about how you respond.
Okay, I know what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I got it.
So the definition you give to these circumstances and situations is based off of your old God power. So if you get a flat tire, you can't just why me? It's always me. No.
Right.
If you're in this angry space, you're giving it the definition of angry, and your spirit's going to keep on giving you anger. But if you can fall back and say, "Oh, thank you, Spirit. I needed this flat tire because I needed a break from this job for 2 hours."
Facts.
Or it don't even have to be nothing. Thank you, Spirit. I needed a new tire because, shoot, I was going to get in a wreck 3 days later. So Spirit then helped me get out of a situation because I was about to travel to New Orleans. But now, you know what I'm saying, that's on hold, right? So the definition you're giving to these particular situations is going to impact your energy. And the more and more consistently you do it, the more you'll start to see things gravitate towards you when you are in a place of positivity.
That's right. Better believe it.
Let me show y'all this real quick because this is a powerful, positive, loving event that's happening. Check it out.
Love life, the conversation, the connection, the chemistry. A love and relationship interactive experience. February 14th, 2 to 6 p.m., Houston, Texas. For singles and couples ready to deepen how they love.
Sometimes transformation doesn't come from being alone. It comes from meeting the right people, the ones who reflect you back to yourself and remind you who you're becoming. Join us for a love and relationship interactive experience, February 14th.
Pull up with the gods. We doing it. It's happening. July. See, I'm still February 14th, y'all. February 14th, they go down. New Love Life events. Listen, family, I'm telling you right now, the transformation is happening in this event. We're about to have such a powerful time that I want the family to come out more encouraged, confident, assertive, and you know what I'm saying, being able to meet people that's like-minded, that has the same spiritual understanding as you. You feel me? So this is for our spiritualists. This is for an exclusive group of people. You know what I'm saying? Some people, they just can't make it because essentially you're not going to be able to receive the message accordingly. We got surprise guests coming. And ultimately what we want to do is transform your spirit into understanding yourself for the better.
Message. Absolutely.
So I'm excited about this event, and the instant downloads for this event ends tomorrow. That's the 7th, right? Yeah, tomorrow's the 7th. Yeah, hey, the instant downloads end tomorrow. So, hey, get him while you can, because essentially we put our foot in that instant download. Let me see if I got a picture of the instant downloads. Hold on.
Yeah, I want to check out that when Sasha becomes Oshun. I did a whole story on that. Y'all might want to check that out. Especially the ladies.
Y'all definitely want to check out mine. I had dropped bars on that thing. You feel me? And I'm like, oh, okay, I did this. So I can't. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Let's see. No, that's not it. Okay, well, I'll try to pull it up later, but hey, just know them instant downloads are a must-have.
Message.
All right, getting back to it. I wanted to dive deep into the fold of asking you, Yosef, about what we talk about anger. When I was younger, I used to be real angry. I don't know what was going on with me. I just used to have, like in my 20s and stuff, just angry. And essentially that anger, put me in particular situations where I kept on getting in car wrecks, having bad experience with females, so on and so forth, right? I had this very cutthroat energy. And a lot of it was stemmed from like me being a drug addict. But then a big part of it was also the music that I was listening to. You feel me? But I didn't know how to express myself clearly and with emotional intelligence, even though I was trying to do so much creative things. You know what I'm saying? It came out in the form of anger. How can a man use his emotional intelligence to increase his magnetism, his leadership, and his wealth?
That's a good question, man. By you realizing who you are, it definitely goes back into that. People are going to notice. You know what I'm saying? They're going to notice you carry yourself a different way. They're going to notice you don't follow the crowd. They're going to notice there's something different about you. It's going to make you stand out. You know what I'm saying? Now, you always got them demons, them knuckleheads that's going to try you because you got emotional intelligence. Oh, he's soft. You know what I'm saying? And you deal with it when it comes with it. I've been through all that type of stuff. I used to work at a job. The woman used to call me a unicorn. She called me a unicorn because they was like, yo, you're rare. And I used to try to convince them, like, if you get your mind in a space where that man like this ain't rare, then you'll find one if you're ready for it. You know what I mean? So men, to get yourself in a space of having, what's the question, to have better emotional intelligence?
Yeah, so you can magnetize, because a lot of this stuff is based off of our aura and our nervous system. And basically, like, us being attractive is something beyond the physical. It's a spiritual energy that females feel that they can actually sense and see with their
that's a fact.
Eye. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a fact. When you live by principles and morals, your light shines. It's something. Do you ever see them brothers from the Nation of Islam? Shout out to the Nation of Islam. They just carry themselves a certain way.
Nigga, I know somebody that every time I see him, I'll be like, God damn, this nigga taking over the whole room with his energy.
Right. Vibrant, well-spoken.
I'm talking about you, nigga. Every time I come in, I'm like, damn. Yosef be having a line around the block.
Oh, man.
His aura be so like this. No, see, he laughing and humble. I'm just telling you, I'm honest. So I'm just telling you what it is.
I am that I am, brother.
Aura takes over the whole room. Me and Yosef have multiple conferences and everything like that, right? Aura takes over the whole room. Look, me and Yosef went to the movies one day. His aura took over the whole movie theater. White people was turning around. Like,
get out of here, man.
What was that? What was that?
Man.
I'm telling you, dog. But that's good, Yosef. I like that because knowing thyself is important. What would you say? Because a lot of people say, all right, know thyself. What does that look like? What does that feel like? How do I even get to that particular, energy?
What's crazy that we gotta keep repeating the same thing, but I want people to get it. I swear, y'all, I'm not trying to repeat the same thing, but y'all got to get it because it really comes down to this. Now, check this out. There was just a podcast where Terrence Crawford, the boxer, I think that's his name,
bud,
was talking to the sport guys. I forgot their name. And one of the dudes was like, yo, man, why don't you just get back into it? He's like, nah, man. He's like, ain't no amount of money that'll get you back into the ring. He's like, nah, man, I'm cool. He's like, not even $100 million. He's like, nah, man. He said, shoot, for $100 million, I'll give my soul away. That's what one of the light-skinned guys said. Right? And then the Terrence Crawford looked right up and said, well, we know what type of morals and principles you got then.
That's fly. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
He's like, we know what type of man you are.
Yeah, because they did Bud wrong. Yeah, that's crazy.
You're right, Bud Crawford. So you know what that means? That light-skinned dude, I don't know his name. That means you can't really trust that man. Because for the right price, he'll get you going. You know what I'm saying? He'll turn on you for $100 million. You know what I mean? That's not loyalty. That's not a loyal person. And I think this is the same guy when Kevin Hart was on there. He was talking about him and his wife be at the new beaches and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And Kevin Hart couldn't understand it. But my whole thing is like principles and morals. They just presented that. And Brother Crawford was like, the morals and principles I got, I'm not selling my soul for no $100 million.
That's a fact.
And I loved it because he told him right in his face. He's like, well, we know what type of man you are then.
I love Bud. Like I think his discipline, his focus, and his attention is something that got to be studied because, again, you know what I'm saying? He's very, very attention to detail, but very, very focused in. It's almost like he got tunnel vision to hit his goal and target, and he did it. And, you know, the boxing world is trying to rip him up his belts or whatever. I don't know how that's even possible because we know who one of the greatest of all time is. So, yeah, that's right. Interesting.
So
a big aspect of being a man is dealing with your having a backbone, right? So what Yosef is saying is right. Like Bud has a backbone. You feel me? You're just not gonna put him in a dress or, you know what I'm saying, make him do a particular thing because you're throwing money at him, right?
And what gave him that backbone? His principles, the way he stands on. I think he's a Muslim, man.
I think so. I think he from the country.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Whatever his principles is, he's like, I'm standing strong on that. And as a man who stands on principles myself, I gotta respect it.
Right, exactly. Because then if somebody can make you move just based off of they throwing money at you, then what does that say about you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I see a lot of people, it's that kind of Nicki Minaj thing. They throwing her a bag. So now she's doing the whole Trump thing or whatever, right? And she just moving in a place of, you know, whatever that is. I think one of the aspect of, and we got to talk about this, the Jajed pillar. Now, the Jajed pillar is a spiritual tool that the family should have, especially men, masculine men, should have in the form of understanding your stability, your ground, and like Yosef is saying, your principles. And essentially, it's the backbone of Osiris or Osar, right? And we know Osar is the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind is basically an emotional system, right? But you being a conscious mind first, you having consciousness, right? You're able to ground yourself with things that you stand for and things that you don't stand for. So I think a big aspect of what happened to us melanated people and the Black divide is that we did lose our culture and our fathers were stripped away from us. Well, in my case, you know what I'm saying? Well, in a lot of our cases. And essentially what happens is we didn't know how to grow up. You feel me? So we had to kind of learn from, you know, the powers that be, the system, or, you know what I'm saying, our mamas that can't really raise a man.
That's right. Because the woman nurtures the child and the father's job is to go out and build something for the child. What does the father build? The father builds, the mother is the first teacher of the child. So the mother teaches the principles and morals to the child that the father gave to the family. You know what I'm saying? So it's the father's job to structure his family a certain way. You know what I'm saying? And the mother's job is to teach it to the children. As the children learn from their mother certain morals and principles, the father shows them what to do with those things. Look, this is what I've been building while y'all been getting nurtured. Come and let me show y'all how to work this thing based on our morals and our principles we've been building. That's how it goes. So when you don't have that father figure who's been structuring meaning, like I said earlier, my wife think I'm too hard on my daughter sometimes, but she's going to understand authority. She's going to understand. She's not going to be a girl say, ain't no man going to talk to me no any kind of way. She's going to understand, oh, when he's a good man and he's saying this, I know what he means because my father used to do that to me.
And he's doing it through love. He's doing
it through love. It sounds harsh, but a girl who was raised by her father, she don't always feel harsh about a man saying certain things. She understands it, right? It's the same thing with a man not having his mother around. He's going to grow up with the lack of emotional intelligence. He's not going to be emotionally intelligent because he never had that nurturing. So now he has the spaz out energy, jumping out the window, all this crazy stuff because he doesn't understand love. He doesn't understand what it means to be nurtured. So if you even give him an idea of being nurtured and then you hold him accountable, he'll jump out the window because he don't understand what it is to be grounded in love. You see what I'm saying? So that's the lack of having that family energy. So it's important to have the family structure for the sake of the next generation.
Right.
So they can be raised a certain way. They need to see it just by having a dad walking around in the house.
Yep.
Has a psychological effect on the child.
That's a fact.
My daughter really believes. I had to tell her. She thinks that all dads are at home, and I said, "No, baby girl. Like some dads are not in the house." And I said, vice versa. Some mommies are not in the house. You know what I mean? And dads are some single dads out there.
Yeah.
She couldn't believe it.
What's the word, Yosef? The word that females hate. Submissive.
So females hate that word.
Yeah, some females hate the word submissive. You know what I'm saying? Being submissive. I think it's the word submissive to your man has played a strong emotional current in the melanated relationship. When we look at other cultures, right? Especially like the Hispanic cultures, even the Asian cultures, the Hindu cultures with the female all dressed up in garb, not showing none of their bodies, whatever, right? Cool. They're submissive to their man based off of they're following his lead and they know he's the leader of that family.
Yes.
Something happened along the way because there was a staple of that with melanated brothers back in the day where, they're leading and they're putting their best foot forward to provide and protect the family, right? Because again, a lot of times when a guy or us guys are directing a female, it's not because we're trying to boss hog on you, right? That's ego. You feel me? We're doing it in love because we're trying to protect you from the obstacles of the world. We're trying to shield off a particular energy that might come and attack.
I agree.
So I think when we look at this thing, when we even look at the Hispanic cultures and the young goddesses are learning from their mothers, hey, you got to serve your man their plate. Hey, you got to do this. You got to be, you know what I'm saying? Essentially, they're giving them the tools to be successful in a relationship. And with our culture, with our melanated culture, because of the TV and the programming and just the not knowing thyself, like you've been saying, essentially what happens is we fall on a weird time, a weird energy where we don't have holistic whole households that can, come together and actually build something beyond the government.
I agree. And just because somebody don't have their father or mother in a home, I want y'all to be encouraged and know you can still build a household. You gotta heal yourself. You gotta be honest with yourself about what you're lacking, what you didn't receive from your parents, and learn how to give it to yourself. You know what I mean? Right. That's the best way to do that. But my one thing about I'm big on raising the next generation a certain way. So it's like my wife, when she cooks, she makes my daughter bring the plate to me. Sometimes she'll bring me my plate, but she makes my daughter bring me the plate. And my daughter loves it. Here, Dad, look what Mom made. You know what I'm saying? And psychologically, that's preparing my daughter to be a wife. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying every woman needs to bring a man a plate, but I'm saying like that's something we practice in my house. And sometimes I say, hey, I'll make my own plate. But for the most part, my daughter does that. Psychologically, that's preparing her to be submissive to her husband. Some women, it's weird to give a man a plate. It's really weird to them. It's like, why would I make him a plate? He can make his own plate. But it's a sign of submissiveness when you got a good man. That's the thing I gotta keep saying, ladies, because the difference between you just getting a man and you getting a good man. You find a good man, you know what I'm saying? He deserves these type of things when he's a good man. So don't be afraid of the submissive thing because it's the natural order. If somebody's gonna be a leader, somebody gotta submit. You can't have two chiefs in the house. Y'all can work together on a project together, but eventually there has to be a structure. Now, sometimes the only time women want to get that structure is when somebody running in the house with a bat, and then you just expect the man to give his life up.
Yeah.
Why has to be that? It has to be that extreme for him to be the leader? No, it shouldn't have to be that extreme. Sometimes a man just deserves to be treated like a leader, because that's what he psychologically he needs. That he needs his ego stroked.
Yeah.
Just like a woman needs to be nurtured, she needs to flowers and to know that you love her. She needs that psychologically. She wants to be reassured that you love her. The man want to know that you appreciate him. He wants to understand that he's a leader. And it's okay, ladies, to give him to a good man and let him know, hey, I appreciate you, what you're doing. You know, I don't mind serving you food.
Right.
You know, he don't look at you as a slave, not a good man. He's looking at you as like, okay, this is how the structure goes. Right. And once again, there's no tradition over here. It's even worse today. People just do whatever they want to do. There's no principles, no morals. There's no tradition. People just living. And then you got feminism and all this stuff popping up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying not to get too political, but it's just a lot of things that's popping up that's making people think different. But there's no tradition behind it. Black Lives Matter and all this type of stuff. So with that being said, these people across seas, I know a young brother right now that's marrying a woman across seas, an African-American man from here who went across seas to get his wife because the tradition is different. She raised different. You see what I'm saying? Not that he don't desire an African-American woman. He just found somebody that understands. He know what role he got to play as a provider and a protector. He don't want somebody fighting with him about it every day.
Right.
One thing a man hates more than anything is the fact that he got to fight you. He wants peace. Protect the peace at all costs. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
No, that's good, Yosef. And it boils down to like reciprocity, because essentially the reciprocity is just a spiritual gnosis of energy where you're actually understanding that the man is going to get up and fight if somebody breaks in the house. The man is going to get the out the yard or kill the cockroach. You know what I'm saying? The man is going to do those particular things because he's a man. Now, if you don't got a man like that, you got a beta man. And you know what I'm saying? You see this man jumping on the couch when he see a roach. Oh shit! Oh God! No!
Yeah.
Right. Then essentially, you know that dude is not going to go to bat for you, at whatever cost. You feel me?
Right.
So essentially, when the roles are in alignment, now we got the masculine and feminine poles that's creating light. Positive and negative creates the light, the battery, right? And the battery can run supremely. So now y'all have this one track mind that's actually for the whole, that's actually going to move y'all into deeper and deeper levels of consciousness.
Yes.
But it's hard for people to get out of their own way, get out of their ego, get out of the human, because essentially they need to do their chakra work and get into their emotional intelligence in that particular lane. Let me ask you this, Joseph. How big is the nervous system when we're talking about emotional intelligence, regulating your emotional intelligence, your nervous system?
Extremely important. And that's why a lot of times what helps you learn better emotional intelligence is meditation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Meditation will teach you how to regulate the systems inside your body. You know what I'm saying? You literally will learn to regulate the systems inside your body. And having a calm demeanor, protecting your nervous system. That's why I say protect your peace. It's very important. You know what I'm saying? And understanding astrologically, I'm a believer in the Mercury retrograde. You know what I'm saying? I believe in the astrologically that sometimes your nerves are going to be shocked a little bit more than other times on the planet. You know what I'm saying? And understanding how to move accordingly during those times. You know what I'm saying? So the nervous system is very important when it comes to having emotional intelligence. You know what I mean? Very important.
Yeah, it is, because essentially that sympathetic nervous system is keeping you in this fight or flight response. And now all of a sudden, fellas, you always want to fight your woman, fight this man that cut you off, fight your employees at your job, your other co-workers, fight your boss, right? And instead of having the emotional sound intelligence, which I'm about to give y'all some work, family, to do with your nervous system, falling into the parasympathetic nervous system, where your whole body and your being is being aware and being in peace and in love with yourself first, no words can attack you based off of you know who you are.
Facts.
So now some of the work that the family does need to do, like Yosef was saying, meditation is very, very important. I don't know how to just not like, we got to put that at the forefront. You must meditate, family, at least 10 minutes to 20 minutes a day, at least. You know what I'm saying? Just find time to sit with yourself and make love to yourself. Because without you loving yourself, you can't love nobody else.
That's right.
Number 2 is breathing exercises. Breathing exercise is very important. Do the 4-4-4 method. Breathe in through your nose, hold for 4, breathe out through your mouth for 4, right? That's a simple way that you can calm yourself down and really understand what's going on in this particular moment that you're in. Because remember, we're just in these moment by moments. All you have is now. So if you're worried about the past and thinking about the future too much, then essentially you're caught up in an illusion. And remember, this whole thing is an illusion. So in order to get back to center and the peace with yourself, you're going to have to be able to combat this illusionary reactionary energy with sound practices that will turn you into God. Because essentially God is a calm being. God is Buddha. One thing I have been doing lately is fasting. Fasting is a very important tool that the family could use to understand themselves, a little bit deeper. You feel me? So like, I remember when you did the watermelon fast, Joseph, that was fire. You don't have to do a fast of like watermelon juice or like water, right? But you can fast from something, because a lot of the times what's happening is the food has our emotions in a stranglehold, right? Sex, like just random sex with anybody, right? And then your desire to be seen. That be seen that be seen one is a big one as well. You feel me? Or be heard, of that nature, right? So them 3 things will keep your emotions and your nervous system in jail. And you want to be able to try these different spiritual things to be able to break through your nerves and your energy that's keeping you human. Because once you do that, you can become God.
Absolutely.
So practice that. Those are 3 basic things that that men and everybody should be doing just to find themselves.
Right. Absolutely. You could become more magnetic when you are in a I like to call it divine feminine space, because you're at a moment where you're at peace and you are in a very nurturing space, and you're at a point where you just exist, instead of a negative person is constantly trying to energetically enforce how they feel on people. When you have peace, you don't enforce, you just attract people to you that want to be on the same level you are.
Right.
When you're on a negative vibration, you're always calling people, I got this going on, I got that problem going on. Every day it's a new issue, it's a new problem. You're trying to push the negative energy. You're trying to push that negative energy into another place. You know what I mean? You're trying to spread it. When you're dealing with positive energy, you don't need to spread it. It spreads natural. There's no force. You know what I'm saying? There's no force. It just is. It's just existence. And that goes into why I say the word Buddha force. Buddha force is just existence. When you put yourself in that place of existence, anything's possible. You know what I mean? So beware of people that's always trying to give you an issue, because that's negativity. You know what I'm saying? And they don't know why they want to do it. They don't even know they're doing it. They want to give that out to you. So being in that place where you can learn to have peace and regulate your nervous system is everything, y'all. Everything.
Facts on facts on facts. Yes, sir, family. Yes, sir. Let's see if y'all got any questions. Hey, look, again, New Love Life event is happening. It's happening.
Come on out, family.
February 14th, 2 to 6 p.m. Houston, Texas. Hey, Dallas, San Antonio, Austin, New Orleans, surround Freeport. All of y'all come down, make the mission happen, and come build with the family, like-minded individuals that's going to transform your world to a new. Any last things, Yosef? Anything you got going on? What you got going on, Yosef? I seen you got another medallion, baby. What's up? Is this one?
This came out a
Not
while
that
ago.
one. I'm saying I thought I seen you post something that you're selling. Or
Yeah. I would tell y'all, I don't even sell my stuff
to
in public like that.
Okay.
But y'all welcome to come. It's on my website, but only people who really know about it is my Patreon members.
Right.
Patreon people be knowing this is something I came up with a while ago called the Meta Beacon. But y'all can always go on my Patreon. I switch back and forth based on what I got made up. But y'all, I got the Helm of All out right now. I got 42 Letter Name of God pendants. I got a lot of things. I enjoy creation, y'all. I enjoy curating. Anybody who wears my products know they're very powerful. I also have the Buddha Force 2. Y'all saw the Buddha Force 1. The Buddha Force 2 is definitely going to be better than that. You know what I'm saying? I always tell people that one of the things people sleep on the most is Buddhism. Because they think it's all about just sitting back and being a good person. But it's a lot of magical aspects, sorcery aspects to the Buddha. You know what I'm saying? I just gave a person a whole Buddha Wizard book not too long ago that people didn't even know existed. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of magical aspects depending on what you're into with Buddhism. People just don't understand it. And that's why it's one of my favorite systems to follow. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be coming out with that March 7th. You know what I'm saying? If anybody want to, you can go to my website and get the tickets. You can also, I'll put the link up tonight when I come on live. And yeah, that's all I got going on. But I really want to see those who can make it come down to the New Love Life event. It's going to be powerful. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see some of you guys for the first time, interact with you. We can talk more on a personal level. When you come out, you may want to ask Brother Dreamwise or his wife, Sister D-Ray, a personal question that you don't want to ask in public. Well, you can come do that. And these are good people, y'all. I wouldn't just be lining myself up with anybody. You know what I'm saying? These are good people. Y'all can come down and get some information. Maybe this is the year you want to find the one. You know what I'm saying? Come on down and feel the energy. You know what I'm saying? So I think this will be good for y'all. So come on out, family. We're gonna have a good time.
Absolutely. Also, the dream supplements are on the website. Go get them. Tap into the dream state. Harataki, valerian root, ashwagandha, chamomile, gotu kola. This thing, all organic, all natural herbs too. And now we changed it up. See, before, because this is a higher potency one, before it was 2 capsules. Now it's 1 capsule. Only take 1, family. Only take 1 of the dream supplements. Hey, look, and there's a limited amount of them. So get them while they hot, because oh boy, when they're gone, y'all know how long it took me to get these things again. And that tariffs ain't no joke. Hey, my supplement company, they telling me about this tariff thing, the white boy or whatever. I'm like, for real? Yeah, man, look, we got, because all of this stuff is natural organic herbs from India and all of that stuff, right? So, man, the stuff he was telling me they had to ordeal, they raised my price on it. So, you know what I'm saying? It was a challenge, it was an adventure, but we got it done and we got them. So y'all can look at down below and y'all can get that ASAP.
Also, I want to read this comment real quick. It says, I wanted to come and connect with like minds, but I'm married. So is this a singles event? It is not a singles event. It's a couples and singles event.
Couples. We got a few different couples already attending. And we got and the singles is in the door. We got
we're gonna play games. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We're gonna set the mood. You're gonna have time to mingle. You're gonna hear music. You're gonna have time to mingle. You know what I'm saying? And talk.
Hey, some of these singles is, I see what's gonna happen. I already see it because I'm like, oh, they coming. I said, oh shoot, oh okay, I get it. I seen the fellas. So you know what I'm saying? It's one of those type of things. And we got the couples. So we got a couple event, a couple section of it that's gonna be fire. That's gonna be led by all of us, because me and Yosef are in a relationship, long-term relationships for that. You feel me? So we're about to bring the heat in that particular notion, especially with some of the stuff that we got going on. So yeah, y'all be on the lookout. Y'all pull up and Hey, man, we'll see y'all next time. Love and appreciate y'all, man. Peace to the gods.
Peace.